this video, we're going to demonstrate how to install the A5 eGrip with the selector switch onto your new 2011 edition Tippmann A5 marker. You can see that this marker is a little bit different than the previous A5 model. It does have the selector switch, and you can also see that it doesn't have a tombstone latch to hold that tombstone in place. It's actually held in place by the grip frame. So I'm going to get a little bit into that, once we get the grip installed. But we're first going to start off by removing our gas line. And we're just going to loosen that up and remove that. And then from there, we're going to remove our push pins. Pull your stock grip frame off, set that off to the side. And then from there, we're going to open up our eGrip box here. You have your eGrip with the selector switch. You also have your tombstone latch and spring. And you also have your owner's manual and your instruction for the installation. But we'll set that off to the side since I'm showing you how to do that in this video. And set that box off to the side here. Now we're going to start by removing all the screws for the receiver. We're going to pretty much tear this down to install our tombstone latch and spring. So you're going to remove your push pin. Take your end cap, your drive spring, and your guide pin out. And we'll remove our push pin for our tombstone. Go ahead and pull that out. And then from there, on the new 2011 A5s, get our bolt insert. On the new 2011 A5s, you'll see that they have this sling mount for the front sight. And we'll go ahead, we'll remove that. You don't have to completely remove it, just loosen it up. And then we'll loosen up all our receiver screws as well. Go ahead and remove our cyclone feeder housing bolt. Also the bolt for the grip. Go ahead and remove our barrel and barrel adapter. You can see that bolt for the front grip slid out there. Okay, now that we have marker disassembled, we'll install our tombstone latch and spring. You have your tombstone latch, and then the spring goes directly behind it. Like so. And then from there, just to make things a little bit easier, I'll remove the front grip, the front sight, and we'll also remove your cyclone feed housing bolt. Then from there, this is kind of a tricky part, but you're just going to take your receiver and you're going to kind of angle it towards the back end, and you're just going to slide everything into place. And it's going to also push that cocking handle back a little bit. And sometimes that spring will actually pop out of the groove. You can kind of see it right here. Go ahead and make sure that's... And if you have a real difficult time, you can remove all the receiver bolts, and that makes it a little bit easier to slide that receiver back on. Most of the time I can do it with all of them in place, but I'll just kind of show you how that works. And you can kind of see how that just fell into place. You can check your cocking handle, make sure it moves freely, and then from there just go ahead and put all your receiver screws back in. Go ahead and slide your front sight back in. Put your sling mount in. Go ahead and put your barrel and barrel adapter back in. And then usually what I'll do is I'll just stick your index finger in there just to kind of hold that bolt into place while you put that back in. And then from there just tighten down your receiver screws. Now you don't have to have these receiver screws really tight, just snug is sufficient. Go ahead and put in our cyclone feeder housing bolt and our front grit. Make sure that front grit bolt's snug. Go ahead and reinstall your front sight there. And then from there you can kind of see how my whole bolt assembly and the valve assembly slid towards the back. You can just kind of slide that bolt out of the way and just pull everything back down into place. Go ahead and reinsert your tombstone and gas line assembly. Go ahead and throw our push pin back in. And we'll put our grip frame back on. Our bolt insert. Then you have your drive spring and your guide pin, and then your end cap. And then from there just go ahead and you're going to put your push pins back into place. And we're going to put our gas line back into place. Go ahead and snug that back down with your 7/16 wrench. We'll install our battery. Then from there, go ahead and turn your grip on. This top hole right here is your power button. The bottom hole is a LED light to indicate that it's turned on. Just go ahead and push down on that power button. And it'll start flashing green. Then from there you can check out your modes, semi-auto and your 3-shot full auto. And that is how you install the e-grip on the Tippmann A5.